Alright, it's KJM, and I'm back with another Hallmark Channel movie review for Countdown to Christmas. As you guys know, if you were Hallmarkies, every Countdown to Christmas season, there's usually one Hanukkah movie. Well, this year, on Friday the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, Hanukkah on the Rocks premiered. Now, starring Stacey Favor, Darren Kaskoff, and Mark Summers. Now, I hear that the writer for Hanukkah on the Rocks is the same writer for me and Megan's favorite Hallmark Hanukkah movie, which is Hanukkah on Rye, where they deal with writing love letters, old school Jewish traditions, and the art of falling in love while their families have competing bakeries. That's Megan and I's favorite Hanukkah movie, is Hanukkah on the Rocks. So if this is the same writer, shout out to her. Also, I liked Round and Round last year, where it was like a Hanukkah Groundhog Day type of story. Megan didn't like it, didn't think it was that great. I liked it, but like I said, we love Hanukkah on the Rye. Now, let's get into Hanukkah on the Rocks. Hanukkah on the Rocks, I'm giving a 7 out of 10. It didn't have the magical charm to make me fall in love with the Hanukkah season like Hanukkah on Rye did. It wasn't bad though. There were just some holes in the storyline for me that didn't quite work. I know Megan did not tune into this. Hanukkah on Rye set such a high standard for Megan when it comes to the Hanukkah movies that if she doesn't feel like it's going to deliver, she's just not going to tune in. But anyway, I told her that I watched, and I told her what my thoughts were. Okay. So, Tori is a corporate lawyer who thinks she is about to be promoted to partner, but then finds out that her firm is a merger. So they're being taken over. And anybody who knows what mergers mean for most employees in most corporate in corporate America will know that a lot of people tend to get laid off in mergers. The new people want to bring their people and they want to get rid of the old people. So Tori gets laid off right before Hanukkah starts, like a week before Hanukkah starts, right? So she doesn't want to tell her family. She goes and visits her bubby every day, but she doesn't want to tell bubby that she's now unemployed. It's interesting that there's this theme that even when we're grown adults, we're all still trying to please our family, our parents. We're all still striving to be perfect in their eyes. I gave up that notion a long time ago. I don't do things the way people in my family think I should do. I have certain views that majority of my family do not have. I'm kind of like the lone wolf in a way. And I'm actually super proud of that. I don't know, in high school, it wasn't popular to think or act like your parents, but something happens right after college where people are still living for their parents. They're getting married to make their parents happy. And it's absolutely ridiculous. My parents have lived their lives already. They've made their choices. It's my turn. But I can feel the pressure that Tori has. She's been a corporate lawyer. She doesn't even really enjoy it, but because it looks like success and her family's so proud of her, she's been doing it. Now she's laid off a week before Hanukkah starts, and she's having this kind of identity crisis, like, who is Tori? And this part I could agree on. As someone who suffers from corporate America burnout, I'm now like a third career person. I have so many careers under my belt. I still don't feel like I've really found my purpose. So a lot of times when people watch the Hallmark reviews, they're like, well, why is she even doing these reviews? I don't know. But it's something that speaks to me, and maybe within it lies my purpose. I'm not sure. Y'all tell me how you feel. Anyway, now Bubby says there's some special Hanukkah candles that Tori needs to get. Turns out most of the city doesn't have these candles. She gets to the last supermarket that has these candles. But there's another person there, the gentleman Jay, who is a radiologist from Florida that's in town in New York to convince his grandpa Sam that he needs to come back to Florida with the rest of the family and be around them for Hanukkah and not be in this bar called Rockies, like an old town bar called Rockies, right? So that's the meet cute for Tori and Jay. They each reach for that last box of Hanukkah candles, and ultimately Tori tells Jay she's a feminist, he can have it, and he's trying to tell her she can have it. He's a gentleman. He takes the candles, but what does life do? They meet again. They meet at Rocky's bar because I think she sees him going into Rocky's bar and she's wondering what is he doing with the Hanukkah candles and going into a bar. She enters the bar and she immediately meets his Grandpa Sam and she gets why Jay is here. And Grandpa Sam also wanted these special Hanukkah candles. Well, it turns out they spend all 8 nights in Rocky's bar, which is why it's called Hanukkah on the Rocks. I think a very weird concept of celebrating Hanukkah in a bar. I'm not Jewish, so the Jewish people, but I know I'm not celebrating Advent or Lent in a bar, and I don't know. I'm also not a bar person, but I just thought very weird concept, but maybe we're just trying to do something a bit different or whatever. I did think the 2 leads had chemistry. I thought the premise of it is kind of weird, but you know, Tori, she's trying to find herself. Jay is trying to convince his grandfather to come back to Florida, even though they are from New York. And Grandpa doesn't want to leave because we find out Grandpa owns the entire building, including Rocky's bar. And so, you know, Tori starts to bartend there, you know, while she's trying to figure out her life. And so she comes up with these very creative ideas for the 8 nights of Hanukkah at Rocky's bar. And even people who are not Jewish participate and find it to be great. That was a part of the story I really loved, that it was super inclusive and it was also teaching about, you know, the Jewish faith and the culture. And I could appreciate that. But for me, the writing just kind of fell flat. It didn't have that old world, make me fall in love, feel like Hanukkah on Rye. And I know it's crazy to compare it to that, but if it is the same writer, then it's a fair comparison, right? I'm giving Hanukkah on the Rocks a 7 out of 10. Definitely, if you have time and you want to tune in, you should. Ultimately, Jay and Tori figure out their purpose in life, and their purpose is just to be together. And they don't have to be anything that they don't want to be. He doesn't have to be a radiologist. She doesn't have to be a corporate lawyer. And Uncle Sam can keep his property and his bar and the things that he enjoys without his family pressuring him to move down south because now his grandson is coming back to New York for love. 7 out of 10. Like I said, if you have time to tune into this, then go ahead. You know, it's to me, I enjoyed Hanukkah on the Rye and even Round and Round a bit more than this, but it's still nice to see that Hallmark is incorporating different faiths in their countdown to Christmas season. I didn't see anything about Kwanzaa this year, but it is okay. Hopefully next year we'll see a little bit more diversity on the faiths tip for Countdown to Christmas and Miracles of Christmas.